Hi, this is Thomas from Believe in the Run, and this is Nike's React Infinity. Boom, check it out. Thanks, Robbie. Okay. So people are pretty pumped about this shoe. It's Nike's first trainer where they're claiming it can help you with injury prevention. And more people staying on the road, that's good for both companies that are selling shoes, and it's good for you. So let's take a look at why this shoe should be on your feet. Fly knit upper, something that you're used to. It's a little bit more refined than what you're gonna see on the Epic React. It almost feels a little less material-like, a little more on that plasticky side. Hard to describe, but it does go back into the material and what you're used to in the tongue and around the heel collar. Now the upper for me wasn't exactly what I was looking for. It's a little bit loose, it's a little bit wide. I wasn't getting the lockdown in the heel collar and the heel counter that I'd like, which plays into the way it runs in a little bit. I'll talk about that, but I think there's some improvements that could be done to the upper. It doesn't ruin the shoe for me, so don't worry about that. It's got the support on the sides. You've got the Nike fitting upper that is sort of like the React, just not as dialed in as far as sock-like feel. Might be because it is a wider feeling shoe, at least in the toe box. It does narrow out in the throat and feels pretty standard for the heel. You're gonna notice these rails that are along the side, and that's kind of creating a stable feel. While I wouldn't call this a stability shoe, it is a stable shoe, and everything that's in it kind of leads to creating a stable feeling ride. Part of the injury control, it's not just these rails on the side keeping your foot on kind of like a path going through your stride. It's also, they move the geometry more like the Vaporfly, where it's kind of pushing you towards a lean forward and a mid-foot strike. So I'm guessing that Nike is saying through their research, somebody with a mid-foot strike to a forefoot strike is gonna have less injuries than someone with a heel strike, which is strange because that data has gone back and forth, but I'm guessing if Nike's putting their stock on it and they're saying, hey, mid-foot to forefoot is a better way to roll, you might want to listen. So you have the flex in the toe, but it's pretty rigid in the back. And I think that's why I got a little bit of heel lift, because as I was coming through my stride, this flexes, this doesn't. So this wants to stay down while this is going forward, causing a little bit of lift. Tried different weight socks. The first sock I ran in was really thin. Then I tried some like Balega socks, and I still had a little bit. The Balega definitely were more helpful in keeping the shoe feeling snug around the foot and pretty much took care of it. I would recommend, if you have a low volume foot, narrow high arch like I do, you're gonna want a thicker sock. Maybe if you have a wider foot and maybe it's a more volume to it, this upper might work perfectly for you. So the rails, creating a little bit of an issue maybe for me, but it did give me that stable ride. My foot felt centered over the back of the shoe, locked down over the arch, fine. Coming down, the React foam. You know the React foam by this point. It's lightweight, it's cushiony, it's bouncy, provides a really nice ride. Since I have a high arch, narrow foot, it didn't really bother me. I could feel it on the inside of the instep. There is support right there. And when we first started running in them, it was very noticeable. It started to mash down. There's one of those shoes that as you're running in it, it kind of starts to mold to your foot. So the first mile or so may be uncomfortable, but like I said, it mellows out and molds to your foot as you start running. The React really adjusts to your foot. Megan has very flat feet, and when we started off, she was really worried about the arch. The way it was pushing up against her instep, she thought it was gonna mess with her foot, but even Megan, after a few miles, was fine. She felt like the shoe adjusted to her foot and had no issues. Tons of rubber on the bottom. Now, at first I was like, maybe it's too much rubber. I wasn't really a huge fan of the Odyssey with how much rubber it had on, but this shoe's really smooth through the stride, and you don't notice it as much as you do in the Odyssey. You also have a very wide area on the foot here, so you have a lot of React flaring out to keep your foot stable that way. It's not a traditional medial posting that you're gonna have, or that dense foam under your foot. It's more these guide rails and a wider stance paired with that mid-foot strike, setting you up for a good run on a stable ride. The React Infinity weighs 10.6 ounces or 301 grams for a size 10.5 male. Pretty much runs true to size, if not a little roomy. I did anywhere from 6-mile runs to 10-mile runs in this shoe, and Feet felt comfortable, legs felt good. As far as the cushioning and the feel for the shoe, I really like it. If you like the Epic React, you're gonna like it. If you like some shoes like some of the Hoka shoes, the Clifton and stuff, you're gonna like the feel of this shoe. Not too heavy, rolls through the stride, plenty of cushioning, and dang, looks pretty good. Rachel, does this look good to you?
Looks pretty good.
If you didn't hear, she agrees. So that wraps it up for the React Infinity. You might want to check it out. If you're a fan of Nike, you're definitely going to like this shoe. If you aren't a fan of Nike, there's plenty other options out there for you, but I don't know, kind of vibing on this. Whether or not these prove to be shoes that do prevent injury remains to be seen. I'm excited to see people try them and see what's going on out there. We are also going to have 3 female runners who are going to train for the Nike LA 13.1 race wearing the React Infinity. We're going to follow them, we're going to post information about them, and we'll see how they do in the Nike LA 13.1 wearing the Infinity React and training with Nike. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, get in our Believe in the Run group, and we got some more surprises coming for you this year. Robbie, we got surprises?
Tons.
Tons. Meg, you want to throw the shoe? Nah, do it again. That's about it. Wait. So that wraps up React we'll get that thing. I don't know, you can probably fix that one, Rachel. Maybe end it earlier than that. Yeah, I said it right that time. All right, cool. Whether or not, wait, one more thing.